What's going on, guys? Hey, welcome to the Wrenched Out Experiment. I'm Anthony, and today we're going to dive into the Harley Davidson V-Rod exhaust, so stay tuned. All right, guys, so thanks for tuning in. Again, I'm Anthony. You're on the Wrenched Out Garage playlist on the Wrenched Out Experiment YouTube channel, so thanks for tuning in. As I said earlier, we're going to dive into the exhaust for the Harley Davidson V-Rod. I haven't done a video on this bad boy for a little while, and we're going to start trying to turn out more and more. We've got some cool cleaning videos, a couple more upgrades that we're going to be diving into here in the near future. So if you guys haven't subscribed, make sure hit that link below. We've also got a lot of other cool content. We're working on the new Camaro. We've got the Sportster, and we've got a lot of other cool projects. So if you're not subscribed, you're gonna miss out. So please hit that button. So today, let's dive into it though. If you guys have seen any of our other videos with the V-Rod, you know that we have the Bassani B1 race exhaust on the bike. So I bought the bike brand new from the local Harley Davidson dealer. And one of the first things that myself and many other motorcycle, car, truck guys like to do is exhaust. So I had the bike for a short amount of time. I was using a GoPro, in which I lost, so I don't have any of the original OEM footage. I did reach out to some friends on Facebook, and we have their footage. So let's take a look at it real quick.
All right, 2006 street rod, stock pipes.
So as you can see, and thank you to our friends on Facebook that shared some of their clips for this, but as you can see, the exhaust, it's not a bad exhaust. It's completely different as far as I'm concerned in the Harley Davidson world. It's not nearly as loud, and it doesn't give that real Harley look or the cruiser look or whatever the look I was going for. So of course, as soon as I purchased the bike, I actually purchased the exhaust the same day. It had to get shipped up to Alaska. And then I got it. But the stock exhaust, let's dive into that before we go into the Bassani. But we have right in front of us the stock exhaust. Now, here's the main, kind of the main piping on it without the covers off. I'll show you the covers here in a moment. It does come into three parts. You've got your front exhaust tube, in which you'll have your, we'll take a look right here, your O2 sensor. And then you have the second tube, which let me grab that real quick, which is right here. Again, it has this cladding on it, which is got these ties that loop through. And then you have your second O2 sensor, in which I'm showing you this because when you go to change your exhaust, you need to know where these are located, and then be careful when you remove these. You don't want to ding them up or do anything. It's a fairly simple exhaust change for this bike. But there's the second one, and then obviously she kind of locks right in there, and then you'll unbolt it, and then it goes into the motor itself. If you're going to change your exhaust, and we'll go into a little bit more details here in a minute, make sure and get new seals for the motor section, and then make sure when you're tightening everything up, it's nice and snug so you don't have an exhaust leak. So essentially it just sits like that right in the system. You'll bolt it in, you'll actually fit it in, or taking it apart, same thing. You'll want to take it apart. The way I did it was start from the back, start taking stuff off and move your way forward. So there's that. Let's grab this other cladding part, which is right here. There's the other place, and that actually sits, it's about like that. I'm not gonna put it on there perfectly, but there it is. And then you have your lower cover here. So one cool option with the stock exhaust, if you guys don't know, and which I'm sure most of you do already, is that a lot of guys, what they're doing is they're keeping this set up because there's nothing wrong with this. It looks pretty cool. But when you get to the back, when you get to the muffler portion, which are these guys right here, this is where a lot of guys just change out these. You can change the mufflers out. I know that there's guys that mess with the baffling on the inside as well, but most people are just changing this section out right here, going for a higher flow exhaust, giving you that cool Harley exhaust sound or V-Rod exhaust sound, really, because in my opinion, the V-Rod, because of the displacement in the special motor, does have its own sound. So let's see, I think I did get a clip from someone that just did the cans or the mufflers. So let's take a look at that. And I will put links to the Bassani and some of these other options down below. So if you are interested in exhaust for your V-Rod, make sure to click those links, check them out. Those guys will go into more details in the specific exhaust you're looking for than what we are going to go into today. Today, we're just talking exhaust. Like I said earlier, most guys, when you get a motorcycle, car, truck, exhaust is one, intake's another. Those are normally the top two things that people change on their bikes because they want to make it theirs. They also prefer slightly different sounds. So let's keep going though. So a lot of guys do change these mufflers out, and it bolts right up to it. It's pretty simple. They're just band clamped, and then there's some mounts right here that actually fit right onto the bike, and then you just swap it over. Everything's good, and then you move forward from there. In our case, like I said earlier, we went to the B1 Bassani race exhaust. We love this exhaust. It's 2-in-1, and it's got the sound, it's got the look that we are looking for. Now, we know everybody has their own preference when it comes to exhaust, whether it's the note or the looks or a combination of both, and there's a lot of great options from Bassani, from Tab Performance, from Vance Hines, and so many other guys. We'll link those below. But the point of us today is showing you guys, this is kind of the breakdown of the exhaust. I mean, here's the stock exhaust. That's about as far broken down as you can get it. Other than me, you know, cutting into it and whatnot, but that's pretty much it. We only ran the bike maybe 100 miles, 200 miles with this stock exhaust before switching it over. Personally, when we had it, I just didn't think it sounded like a Harley. You have arguably one of their fastest production bikes with one of the weakest sounding exhausts. That's my opinion. So we had to do something about it. One thing to note, if you are looking at getting exhaust for the bike, depending on which kind it is, this is still the B1 race exhaust, still has a light baffle in it. You have to get a fuel management system programmer or something of the sort, and you may want to consider doing your intake as well, whether that's a high flow filter or in the case of the V-Rod going bikini topped or removing the top. There's a lot of options there too, but you need to do a fuel management system, and that is because these guys are pretty lean right out of the box, and if you switch over to the exhaust, your bike's going to run like crap, and you're actually more than likely going to lose horsepower unless you go to some kind of system. What we ended up using is the Tab Performance Tuner, which is specifically built for exhaust and light intake. So this tuner that I have is not for going bikini topped or removing the top shell to your intake. However, we didn't remove ours, we just went to a high flow filter and the exhaust, so it worked very well. I did run the bike because I got the exhaust first and it sounded like crap, it ran like crap. Luckily, the tuner came in a few days after. I just got very excited when I got the exhaust, just because of the way it looked. I had a brand new bike and I'm thinking, whoa, this is gonna be awesome. As soon as I put the tuner on, super simple install on that. I'll go over that in a different video, but the tab performance tuner, the link for that is below as well. Super simple, it just plugs right into your wiring harness and does the rest. There's no programming. However, it is limited if you're looking to do future modifications. So in our case, right now it's fine, but there are some future things that we want to do to the bike that we're more than likely going to have to go to a power commander or something else, so we can actually modify and tune specific parameters of this bike, because the current programmer is very limited. So you may want to consider that when you're shopping exhaust or shopping matching components, so you're not wasting money. In our case, it wasn't a waste of money. We've had the tuner on there for 2 years now. We've utilized it. We love it. But here in the near future, when we go to do some more engine upgrades and others, we're going to want to upgrade that tuner so we can adjust the fuel parameters, the spark parameters, and many others. So keep that in mind. If you're just doing, hey, I want to throw some exhaust, throw intake, and then I'm good, tab's a great way to go because it's super simple. Plugs into your O2 sensors, some of your other ECU sensors, and that's it. And then you move on with life. Again, I'll do a formal video on that. But back to the exhaust. Now there are, like I said earlier, a lot of options. One thing I would say, I've purchased exhaust for motorcycles, cars, trucks, a lot of them. And one thing you need to do your research is on the companies themselves. I would suggest not going onto eBay and buying the $59.99 special, especially when you're talking about a bike like this. Now, if you're on a very tight budget and you're working on a cheaper bike and you're trying, or you're just starting, then maybe. But on a bike like the V-Rod, whether it's the Muscle or the Night Rod Special or whatever it is, you really should either save the money and get exhaust from a reputable company. So the seals, the welds, everything holds together. The baffles, the packing, everything is the way it should be. And you're not going to have issues down the road, because that's a common thing with buying cheap ass exhaust. In our case, this exhaust was pretty darn expensive, especially after getting it shipped to Alaska. So do your homework. There's a lot of guys on there. Get on the forums, get on the Facebook forums, get on the Reddit forums. And there's so many examples of what you can do as far as exhaust goes. And maybe it will fuel what your likings are or what you're looking to do with your specific bike. So I highly suggest you doing that. Another big thing though with the Bassani exhaust and many other exhausts is this system is pretty heavy. I mean, just these mufflers alone probably weigh as much as the whole Bassani exhaust system. And that's of course without all of the tubing and all the rest of this. So it is a little bit of a weight reduction. And then we did get rid of some of the big mounting holders that are on it. When you are mounting this, make sure when you mount any exhaust, throw it all up, make sure everything's good to go, ride for a little while, but check those mounts. There's nothing worse than after some hard vibration from a good day's ride or week's ride or month's ride, that'll knock some of that stuff a little bit loose, and you may want to consider that. We did our license plate bracket. If you haven't seen that video, it's on the playlist. And it's kind of funny because the last time I went and rode the license plate, I almost lost my license plate because of the vibration, in which someone on Facebook did mention, hey, you may want to look at a couple of things that I'm going to now. So thank you guys. I'm talking about comments. Hey, please comment below. Let us know what you guys think. What's your favorite V-Rod exhaust? Drop us a comment or anything you want down below. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. The reason we wanted to do this video is we went shopping around for exhaust. We're huge fans of not only our bike, but other guys' bikes as well. And we've seen so many different exhausts and so many great examples of what you can do with this beautiful bike that we thought, why not, let's throw up a video just talking about the stock components versus the aftermarket world. And there's so many great options. So thank you guys for tuning in. Again, this is the stock setup. It's fairly simple. The muscle has obviously the dual exhaust system. A lot of options for that. I'll see if I can find some exhaust options for that as well, and I'll link those below also. So as we said in the beginning of this video, we really do appreciate all of you guys that are watching the content and sharing it. We want to continue featuring the V-Rod on here. We do have the Sportster project that's going to start coming out more often as winter's hitting here and the Camaro's getting parked and everything's starting to slow down. But we need your guys' help from the community to continue growing and building and keep creating this content for the motorcycles in the garage and everything else. So thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you guys have any suggestions for anything else you want me to go over with the V-Rod or soon for the Sportster and many others, shoot us an email, admin@wrenchedoutexperiment.com, or just drop us again a line below. Catch us on social media. We have the Wrenched Out Experiment Facebook page, our Instagram page. Just hit us up on any one of those. We'd love to hear from you. We're active users on there, so if you drop us a line, we'll make sure and get back to you. So until next time, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the V-Rod exhaust. We've got some really fun and exciting things we're going to be doing to this bad boy over the next few months, so you guys will be seeing that as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed the riding season, and if you are still riding, ride safe, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in.